Om. Sahana vavatu, Sahanau bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome everyone to the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. Now we are starting the study circle we have been doing on Gita Vahini, Swami's commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, the dialogue between Arjuna and Lord Krishna. So we will be starting, if you have on the soft copy, on page 23, it will be chapter 5, or if it is, you have the hard copy, it is going to start chapter 5 on page 38. So we finished last week the chapter 4, and just I want to send the highlights at the end. We finished a very important message from Swami. First, Swami said, we should all remember, this Gita is for not only for Arjuna, but for every one of us, for the whole humanity. This is supposed to be for the whole humanity, Swami emphasized. At one time, Swami says Partha, one of the names of Arjuna. You should know also the meaning. Arjuna is pure, because that is why he said. Partha means is the son of Prithvi, the earth, and we are all the children of this mother earth. So this message is relevant to every one of us who lead the life on this planet Earth. And Swami beautifully another time said Gita, there is a Gita in one in Telugu, it means Gita means line, fate line. If your Gita is good, that means your fate line is good, you will read Gita. That means if our destination, so you are reading it because of our good karma. Everybody cannot even have access to the holy people, access to scriptures, access to avatar is only by the divine grace. We should remember that. So because our Gita is good, we are able to read the Bhagavad Gita. And second thing, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, the message of whole Gita is this. You go on saying Gita, 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 what happens? Tagi, Tagi, Tagi. That means you renounce. That is the whole purpose of Gita is to renounce. What do you renounce? First is renouncing the desire for the fruits of action. And then renouncing our ego. And renouncing our mamakara, ahankara. That is means doership and enjoyership. So all the renouncement of the evil quality, negativity, will take to the immortality. That is the message. So this Gita is for all people. And then last week, I'll just go to the last paragraphs. Everything we need to go on, these are like spiritual laws. He says, most of the time in life, we work, right? All of us work. What do you want to work? Chiranjeevi, we will go to work. We want to get a salary. There is nothing wrong. We want to support our family. So the whole thing, the work is centered for either profit, gain, power, name, fame. So you analyze anything. So it is, you want to get something. And then if you don't get, you get disappointed. So the whole secret is, he says, automatically if you do whatever you do, good, good, bad, bad, it will happen. But willingly you renounce the fruits of action. That is the whole secret. And the last two lines, Swami said, very powerful, very good. You should all memorize that. So if we want eternal joy and eternal liberation, if you want to have any work, you want your money, you want name, fame, position, yeah, you do the work and appropriately you'll get it, but it will give you into bondage. But Swami said, I will read that again. If you want eternal joy and eternal liberation, you can get, but you have to pay a price, right? Everything in life you have to pay a price. What is the price here? We read last week. Yeah, one is renouncing the desire for the fruit of action, not the fruits of action, because as a law of karma, as you sow, you reap. So I'm giving the example. If you put a mango seed, you'll get mango fruit. If you put a neem seed, you'll get a neem fruit. If you do good, you'll get good. If you do bad, you'll get. So automatically you'll get that. But you willfully renounce the desire for fruits of action. Second thing is you dedicate all our actions to God. These are very simple. This is the way to liberation. So Krishna Arpanamastu, Sai Arpanamastu, Rama Arpanamastu, Yesu Arpanamastu. Just Lord, because He is the one who is working through us. So we dedicate all the actions. So this is the secret. So if you want to have eternal joy and eternal liberation, Swami is telling the say straightforward. Give up the desire for the fruits of action and dedicate everything at the feet of the Lord. It looks very simple, but it is constantly need to be practiced. That is what Lord Krishna, he says detachment from the fruit of action means anything we do, God himself is an example, Lord Krishna. He has the highest wisdom, Gita, which is summary of all Upanishads. He told him the whole thing, spent all the time. Do you know at the end what he said, Lord Krishna to Arjuna? He said the whole thing that we should learn from them. Yathe chesi tatha kuru. Do as you please. If his Lord, he says, if you don't do it, I'll cut off your head or I will take you off. He can easily say that. He can do anything because he has the power. But he didn't say that. Example for all of us. I am telling you what is good. So do as you please. Even it applies to us as parents to our children. Whereas Lord Krishna is telling, I am telling you what is good. Now you take your decision because everybody has to pay their own karma. So the real love is, it doesn't insist its own way. Saint Paul said, love is patient, kind. It doesn't insist its own way. Like some people say, my way or highway. If you don't follow your way, then they won't do that. So we should always seek the opinion. Lord Rama is another example. I saw one of the things, Vibhishna. He's from the enemy camp. He surrenders to Lord Rama. So, but there is a very suspicious thing. Somebody from enemy camp comes. He has all these people, great advisors, Sugriva and Jambavan and Hanuman. He asks advice from everybody. Is that whenever you want to do, you take the advice. We can't have your only thing. And then you take the pros and cons and make it. He decides finally, says, my duty is to give surrender. So yeah, I heard your opinion, but this is the decision. So this is a lesson that desire even for us when we give opinion, whether it is thing. So you need to, as long as it doesn't compromise the essential principles, there majority doesn't hold good. Even the whole world says tell untruth, we cannot do that. Whole world says just be hateful, we cannot do that. Fundamental human values, truth, right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence, that it doesn't matter. It doesn't go with the majority. It goes, they are fundamental. But the other things, you want to eat eggplant curry, or you want to eat thing, or you want mango mousse, or you want the gulab jam, you choose what. Don't insist you should eat that. So in life also, girl wants my good person is okay, but don't force people our viewpoints on them. That is the whole secrets. So give that space and judgment, freedom. That is what you learn from the Lord. It's the Lord Krishna. I gave the example called Gota, and learn Lord Rama. So that is one. And now we will start the chapter 5. So first is secret of eternal joy and liberation is, somebody said 2 points, is renouncing the fruits of desire for fruit of action. Second is dedicating all actions to God. So now we'll continue on chapter 5.
The chapter 5. If you have an eye on fruits of your actions, you're liable to be affected by worry, anxiety, and restlessness. The question may arise, if the fruits have to be given up, how can one manage to live? But why this weakness of heart, this nervousness? He who has assured Yogakshema Vahamyaham, I will absolutely take care of your worldly and spiritual needs, will certainly look after that. He will give the wherewithal and the means. After all, you have to consider, is a happy life important, or is a liberation from circle of life and death more important? Happy living is only short duration. The joy of liberation is eternal and unshakable. I know it's just one paragraph. Can I stop here? He
Sure.
kind of packed a lot.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah. So 3 points that I could think of is, number 1, when you focus on fruits of actions, you're so not only labile, you're liable to get affected by worry, anxiety, and restlessness. And then number 2, we just really need, here it says, do you want happy life? Is that important? Or liberation from circle of life and death is more important? That's where the true viveka with the clear mind comes to, for every decision to see. And then number 3, I think is the most powerful one, Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham. When a Lord is telling, I will take care of absolutely your world needs and spiritual needs. That's the surrender. When you do that, then other two get the clarity. Saira.
Saira. So first thing is, you nicely said the fruits of action. That means whenever we have anxiety, whenever we have worry, whenever we are restless, because we all go through that life. That is part of life, because we are buffeted by so many parts of duality. The whole world is dual. So sometimes the whole thing is what we want, you don't get it. Sometimes what you don't want, you get it. Both will cause us pain. So we want to avoid that. Every human being wants to. You want something what you like, you want to get it, and you don't want something which you don't like. Then naturally it won't happen all the time. So then you'll get anxiety, worry, and fear and restlessness. So, but once you are aware of the fact itself, there is a way of the things, that itself 50% there, our worries will be gone. And second thing is, in life you have to discriminate. We want just good fun life with pleasure, but it will cause pain. Pleasure is interval between two pains. Or you want eternal happiness. So everything we have to go on discrimination. That is why this whole Kathopanishad, we talked about Nachiketa, such a young boy, when you go to Yama, and he gets the knowledge of the Atma. So such a young boy, most of the young adults not be tempted. He gives him all the wealth in the world, all the power, all the pleasures, a long life. He says, I don't care for all that, because they're all short. So after a while, you will lose the wealth. After a while, you lose your power. After a while, you lose your pleasures. What is that you don't have? That is what eternal life. Then he says, in life, always everyone, two paths, Shreyo Marg and Preyo Marg. Is it pleasing to me? Something's going and having fun someplace, partying, that is okay, but as long as it's centered around God. So is it thing, or is it something like what we are doing, prayer mark, where you talk about God, eternal message of the Lord, and things which takes you towards God. So that is very simple. Shreyo mark, prayer mark. People say anything which takes us towards God is prayer mark. Anything. Shreya mark. Yes, right. Any good, thanks for correction. Anything which takes us to the world, away from God, is the prayer mark. So pleasing, because always that takes away. So you see that you need to be attentive when we are listening and to correct, that is good. So always everybody listen and have the critical answer. So anything which takes away from God, that is prayer mark. We should be very careful. As Swami says, ABC, always be careful. So we always say, is it taking anything that when you have in life, we do morning to evening. Is it really taking me away from Swami or thinking about God or my reality, or is it really taking me towards Him? So we go on analyzing. Then after a while, it becomes a habit. Then we'll avoid thing. So and another thing you were talking, this the most important shloka. This Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham is only a part of the shloka. The whole shloka, you should remember, memorize it, somebody who can know Sanskrit. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham satata yuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. It's very powerful. Swami said the whole Gita can be compared to a balance. That is one side, one pan, another side, another pan. So there are three shlokas which are the most important. Swami says in the second chapter, shloka 7. And in the ninth chapter, shloka 22, this is the one, Ananya Chintayantoma. And in chapter 18, shloka 66. I briefly will mention, please go on deeply study that. First one is in second chapter, the shloka 7 is Arjuna's word, this are Karpanya dosho upapta swavaha pruchami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yashreyas nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteyaham shadhimam tvam prapanna. Three important things for all spiritual seekers. These are important. Arjuna, he goes on crying, oh, I don't want to fight everything. But finally he realizes, he says, Lord, he's his brother-in-law, he's his friend. Arjuna and Krishna are brother-in-law friends. He says, this first time he says, I am your shishya, I am your disciple. Because disciple-guru relation is different. You see, disciple is supposed to implicitly follow divine guru's command. So I am your shishya. And he says, prapannaha, I am surrendering to you. That is where spirituality is. Till now he was arguing this, no, not this, this. He says, I am your disciple. So I surrender to you. Then important, Shadhimam, command me. That means whatever you tell, I will do. So this is the first important shloka. Second one is this, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham satatayuktanam. Always, without any other thought, think about me. Then I will take care of your worldly welfare and spiritual welfare. I will give you that, and also I will try to protect that. He says, I am giving you this assurance. Yogatshemam vahamyam. But satata yuktanam, he says, you cannot be a part-time devotee. You can't have a part-time job and full-time benefits, right? Part-time job, they say, you will have no insurance, you will won't have pension plan. You have to be a full-time job to get the full-time benefit. Same thing to get from God. Be a full-time devotee, he will give you full-time. This is only, that is why qualification people say, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, the second line. That means I will take care of all your welfare. But first sentence, nobody. Satata yuktanam ananyas chintayanto mam yojana paryupasate. If you do this, I will take care. He didn't say just I will take care. If you take care, if you satata yuktam, always think about me without anything, focus on me, then I will take care. So if you don't do that and to take care, he won't do that. You need to fulfill that condition. So here also Swami gives always a beautiful explanation. He says, Ananya Chintayanto Mami. Most of the people explain thinking about nothing else but God. That's what all the commentators write. But Swami gave a nice explanation. Ananyas chintayantu mam, that means see nothing but the divine. In the beginning, you think, oh, God is there, I am here. So you try to pray to God to take care. But here he says, after a while, the Ananya, there is nothing but God. That is what we'll experience in the ultimate thing. Then you'll always be in bliss. Here I remembered of what one beautiful incident. Then Puri Jagannath, I don't know how many you know. In Puri, there is a Vishnu temple, Jagannath temple, very famous temple. Like Kashi Vishwanath, that is where people, Swami says, people who are Shaivites think Shiva is the greatest. And the Vaishnavites think Vishnu is the greatest. What does Vishwanath mean? He's the Lord of the universe. So he is Kashi Vishwanath, that is Shiva. What Jagannath means? Lord of the universe. So both are same, but people fight. So whether it's Vishnu, same thing like Venkateshwara, I was telling the other day, is the same. You call him Venkata Ishwara, is like Shiva. Venkatramana is like Vishnu. And Balaji is his mother. Bala is mother, Bala Tripura Sundari ji. So everything is same divinity. I'm getting distracted. So you need to see the same divinity in all forms. Here, this great scholar, he was very scholars. Unfortunately, sometimes they're very poor people. In the old days, there's a saying: when the Saraswati and Lakshmi, they don't go to that. So they're very wise people, scholarly. They don't have money. So this guy is a very scholarly man, good devotee of Jagannath, but he didn't have enough money even to pay for his household expenses. So he was reading this thing because he was not having any money. He was got mad. Ananya chintayanto mejan yoga kshemam vahamyaham. He scratch up that thing in the book is wrong. So he's not taking care of me. I'm thinking about that particular yoga kshemam. That particular word is struck off. So then he was, then that afternoon, so then there was a boy, little boy, like Lachpajnan. So he says, little boy came to his house carrying some nice goodies and all that things for the family. Ma, your husband has sent this food enough for thing. So she was very happy. Oh, he sent it. Then she saw a nice big mark of scar, scratch on his body. Hey, what happened? Who did that to you? You're such a good boy. You're giving the food. Your husband did that. My husband did that. This old man, as he's getting old, is getting crazy too. Why did you are such a good boy giving that? So then he went away. He disappeared or gone. Then our husband came in the evening. Oh, I could not get any money. I didn't have anything. No, you sent through this boy. Really? I didn't send it. Then he said, but one thing you said, that boy said, why did you hurt him? What do you mean by hurt? I didn't even send this and I didn't hurt. Then he remembered, I scratched that thing Yoga said. So whatever, even that goes to God. So just, and this explanation also that Pandit says beautifully, Yoga that means yoga and Kshema, dadamyaham means I will give. But he didn't say that, vahamyaham, I will carry. He didn't say I will give this, I will carry your burden. That's why even Shri Baba says, put all your burdens on me, I will carry your burden. Here, yoga-chem vahamyaham, I will carry it for you. That is such a powerful shloka, this chapter 9, shloka 22. And the last one is we talked about it many times, 1866. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja ahantva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. This is where Lord assures, this is called Charma Shloka by Vaishnavites. That means, I will give you moksha and I'll take care of, remove all your sins, all your grief. What else you want? But moksha ishyami, we want liberation, right? How will he give it? And masucha, no more grief. Sarvadharman parityajya, there are also conditions. Second line is what he will give you. Sarvadharman paramamekam sha ahantva sarva papebhyo. Your sins are gone, grief is masucha, and moksha ishyami. These are the three things. But for that, sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. Only me. You can't have, as Jesus said, you can't serve God and mammon. You can't have this and that. So, like Swami said, Kama and Rama cannot go to that. That is why Mother Sita, such a great lover of God and dedicated lady. So, but then when she was tempted with the desire for she gave up everything, the kingdom, everything went into the forest along with the Lord Rama. She sacrificed. But when she had that weakness for the golden deer, the desire is the downfall. So Kama and Rama cannot go together. That's what Jesus said, God and mammon. So this is why we should have Sarvadharma. When you do that, he says he will give you moksha. So these three are the very important shlokas. Chapter 2, number 7, chapter 9, number 22, and chapter 18, number 66. So if you remember that Swami himself gave so much importance, then you need to ruminate and think about it.
Sairam.
Right.
No, the same Pandit, no, he was also going through difficulties to bring up the family. So he went to and also meantime, the king of that area, he made an announcement, whoever can come and explain Gita, the real meaning, I'll give him, all the benefits. So this man went and he said, and the king asked, so yes, I know all this 800 slokas, so I know the meaning and everything. So he heard and this sloka, he gave the explanation. And then he said, no, you are not fit for the present, so you go back. So like that, every time he will come and his wife, when she comes home, he said, king was not happy with my explanation. So like that, it went on. And this man was getting depressed because he thought he was so scholarly and he knows everything. Then finally, his wife, one day he came, this time, not only he was sad, but he refused to eat. So he went home and he didn't eat, and his wife was really concerned and begging him to eat. And he said, what's happened? Again, the king is not happy. What is the problem? She said, whenever I tell this sloka, he thinks that that's not the correct meaning. And then this wife thought about it. No wonder that is correct, because you read the sloka. If you surrender to God, he will take care of everything. But you are not practicing. So you are not trusting yourself, and you're seeking the benefits from the king. Did you get the point? I mean, did I make it? So instead of praying to gods, we are praying to the kings. So then this time he refused. Next day he didn't go for his session, Gita session. He stayed home. And then king, when he sent word, no, what happened? The scholar is not coming. Then he said, no, I'm not interested in explaining. And then the king sent all the jewels, money, and the whole, lot of properties. So like that was one story about the Pandit. And about these young adults, since as a pediatrician, I cannot resist, even though we have to give freedom to do certain things. But remember, those children are like, we are the trustees, and God has trusted us to supervise the children. So we cannot just release the leash completely. You still have to be under supervision. You have to control them, but at the same time give freedom. So that we have to make a little concession. And we are talking about this nishkama karma. So there also, because there is so much we have to learn. And for me, for example, if I'm cooking, so if I'm focusing on the cooking, the recipe and how to cook, so live in the presence. That is, if you are mindful, there is not even a second to think about the results. So why should we even worry about it? So that thought would not come as long as you are focusing on what you are doing and living in the presence. So these are the 3 points.
Good. So the whole thing is that is practicing, giving a talk is good. Gita, that gets Pandit, but he didn't believe that God will take care. Actually, there is a story. Actually, this is outside, but Swami's life itself in Godavari, those days in Godavari, there was one Swami's devotee who was a scholar. He used to go around the various villages and give talk on Gita, but he was not doing well. He was a poor guy. He could not meet the events. He was frustrated. His wife said, why don't you write a letter to Swami, right? And then he didn't want to write. He doesn't care. He doesn't do. Then Swami sent a message. This man, he's going on, giving around, giving talks on Gita, but he doesn't believe me. He doesn't know that I know everything what is happening with him. So to show that knowing is different, but experiencing it, practicing. That is why Swami says there is Vacha Vedanta, Anushtana Vedanta. Vacha Vedanta means you give just comes from the mouth. Anushtana means it is experienced in the heart. You live that life. That is the whole purpose of. That is why the people, when you come in contact with the avatars, that is what they do. They inspire us so that we lead that life. Okay, you can continue.
Message, question here. When I suppress, I'm constantly thinking of the worldly things in the back of my mind. What is the use of appearing detached when inside I'm craving? I might as well indulge, right? Swami gave an opportunity to ask him this question, and when I asked about suppressing desires, he answered instantly and most beautifully. He said, suppression kadu, separation. In summary, he told that one must separate oneself from the desire. And for that, one needs contemplation on who am I. Keep doing that.
Yeah, that is
So
a good
that's
point. That is why you can't suppress, because that is why Swami says when you suppress desire, that is why some people, like the people in India, I don't know how many know, there's one thing called Ayyappa movement. People go there for 40 days. Amazing, I will be surprised. They put black clothes, they don't eat meat, they don't drink alcohol. They're really a very austere life they do, because that is the vow they take. But after the 40 days is done, not everybody, but majority of the people, they explode. They're all their desires, suppressed desires come because they suppressed it. But Swami says, don't suppress this. One is suppressed, sublimate it. So just you should not be constantly. As long as you have desires and suppress, you should suppress, that will explode one day. So Swami says in Lord Krishna again in Gita, Vishayendriyani samyamya ya aste manasa smaran. That person is mithyachara savutya. Mithyachara means hypocrite. The one who is suppressing outside, but inside is going on thinking. So he has bad things, but outside it looks very holy man, but inside he is going on thinking about it. He is called hypocrite. So Swami says, so you need to, that is the best way to suppress desires. We think it's very hard. Instead of having the desires, focus on God, automatically the desires will be taken care of. That is the secret. If he says, oh, I will try to cut down this, they will explode, sublimate. But you focus on God, automatically the desires will be the God. That is what is called sublimation. Don't, otherwise, Lord Krishna himself is called hypocrite. Actually, Sri Ramakrishna said a beautiful story, how the mind is important. There were two people. So there was a great sannyasi who called. So he was doing austerities. He has a lot of disciples. There was nearby, there is a lady of ill fame. She has got prostitute. So she was not leading a good life, immoral life. So this man, so when both of them died, this saint was taken to hell and that prostitute was taken to heaven. That guy said, this is very unfair. I am such a good man and the lady is this. Says, that lady's body, you see what is happening, there is nobody even cremating her. Crows and eagles, they are eating the body, nobody cares for her. See your body, they are taking in a nice place where people are putting flowers, garlands, because your body did that, her body did bad. But your mind, you are always counting how many people are going into her house, how are thinking, you are thinking about her bad things always. Your mind was not good. That is why you have to go to hell. Her mind, my God, why I'm leading the life like this? I'm so bad. How great that man is. Her mind was thinking about good things. She was repenting and thinking good, so that you go there. Whereas your your mind was thinking bad things about that lady, so you need to go to hell. Whereas your body was doing, that's why your body gets adoration and worship. Our body gets humiliation. So main thing is where your mind is. We need to thought or word and think. The Swami said that is why a very simple life, we make it complicated. Whatever thoughts we have, think good. Think no evil. So no bad thoughts. Anything negative thoughts come about anybody, even our colleagues, why that guy gets promotion, why he gets more profit, why he's successful. There is a negative thing. Our duty is just as an instrument do the work, and it is God's duty, success and failure. And speak good, speak no evil. So don't hurt. by untruthful thing of other people. So speak no evil, speak what is good. And finally, do good, don't evil. So this is the way to God. So Swami says very complicated. We don't need to, it's good to know Vedas and scriptures, but it says if you do that every time, we all do the three things every day, right? Anybody who doesn't do that? Thinking, speaking, and doing. We all do that. Right, Prajna? We all think. So anybody with so many thoughts come, so you have to see which are they good, and then speak. So always we have to speak morning to evening. Some people speak a lot, some speak less, but everybody speaks. And finally, do. So whatever work we do, we need to do that. So this is the way to go. So we'll stop here. Time up. Yeah, briefly,
In
and then we can.
regards to desires, I always come with understanding. We can overcome some desires.
Yes.
If we are lacking the understanding, and as you always say, Uncle, if we are walking towards north, automatically we are distancing ourselves from south. So as we walk towards God, it's His duty to give us that knowledge and wisdom, where the transformation happens, and whatever desires are no more serving us will be dropped automatically. So
Yeah, that is true. There is automatically, as you go on more on thinking, he will remove the any bad desires or no desires. So because, and first point is you won't have time. For example, at one stage when we were, and we used to go to have some social events and all. So then once we are intensely with Swami, so every Thursday we have bhajan, another day satsang, another day this, and people slowly started. So they used to call a birthday party, this birthday. Oh, now we have this bhajan, we have this satsang. Then after a while they gave up on us. Okay, these guys are no good. So just write them off. So that we never used to call because automatically God will take care of your things. So you are even in the hospital. So we will have a board of directors meeting. They all know this man has Thursday evening this thing. He won't come. So just they will adjust if it is really God's grace is there, things will fall in place. We need to have that sincere desire. Lord, I want you. He will definitely, I have my experience, only I can tell 40 years. He will take care of everything. He will make it favorable to you. So our duty is to have that intense longing. I want to be with good. So, but another thing, desires you were talking about. Desire, Swami gave a nice example. Like you want to have a good job, there is like some coins, and you want to have a good family, there is like some coins like you carry, and like you want to have success in society. But all of them are little coins, but you convert all of them, they are heavy, like you have got 1,000 rupees coins, you carry. But the same thing, 1,000 rupees, you carry like a one big note, it is very light and carried the same value. Similarly, all your silly desires in life converted to one desire. That is desire for God, Dharma. When we make that desire, it will be light and you will be happy. Whereas always we have these petty, small desires in life, so life will be hard, it is heavy. Okay, we'll conclude. You're already.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Can I
that's
share,
okay.
Sairam, can I share one quick thing?
Sure.
To continuation what Sandhya said about the other question that, in the society, some might behave aggressively, the things that, that we don't approve of. As Sandhya said, I think that and also here in the first paragraph, if you're not so focused on our actions and the results and to surrender to Lord, then you get that clarity. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a doormat for everybody. You'll have that courage and the presence of mind to really say what is appropriate. It'll come to you spontaneously. Then you'll navigate the life. That's the skill. I think it comes from the divine grace. It doesn't come to everybody, but if you live his teachings, it'll come.
Good point.
Also, Swami says, Yatna prayatnama manava dharmama jayapajayamal daivadina. So it's our duty to do the action, and whatever based on our karma and His grace that will be bestowed on us. I guess we shouldn't get attached even to that result of.
Yeah, that is what the important. This is like a mantra. But she said, but people to know Telugu, they will understand. Others may not. This is Swami own handwriting. He wrote, he composed, and sang. Sathya Dharma Shanti. One time I will talk about that whole thing, 9 verses, the essence of all Vedanta. Here, very clearly, what she said, Yatna Prayatnamu Manava Dharmam. For all of us, because we are all bound, we are karma jivis, we have to do. Yatnam means effort. And yatta prayatnam, that means just not only effort, sincere effort, very hard effort. Whatever we do, because Lord Krishna says, yoga karma sukhaushalam. Whatever work we do, perfectly. You are a scientist, you want to do, you put all your effort. So just, there is no doubt, that is our duty. He says, yatna praya manava dharmam. That means you have no choice. That is your duty to do that. But Jayapajayamulu Daivadhyam, people like Karthik is not here to Jupiter, they get the satellites, they send. Does it everything successful? Sometimes they fail, they have the satellite, they fall down, something doesn't happen. Even for any walk of life, everything we do is doesn't succeed. There is a part. He says, Jayapajayamulu, success and failure, Daivadhyanam. It is in the hands of God. So once you have a conviction, my duty, he said, do the best you can. That's all my responsibility. So he will take care what the results are. If we have that complete feeling, then we'll have that serenity and that complete peace of mind. It doesn't matter what happens because I did my best. So that's why it says another way is do the best, leave the rest in God's hands. So do the best we can. That is our duty, says Dharmam. But leave the rest. Okay, Lord, it is in your hands. If you have that attitude, then you'll have that serenity, peace, and joy. So that is the secret. Okay, we'll continue next.